Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our KT100 Karting Academy Series finale. It's a tight field today at Zuera, where our drivers are going to be facing off for the next 17 minutes to crown our champion of KT100 Academy Series Season 3. And currently leading the field around on our formation lap is Aaron Heathman. In second, Alessandro Serenetti. Starting in P3 in the second row, Rowan Gill, followed by Justin Ataconis. Corey Hayes taking P5, and Corey Hyatt rounding off the top 6. And as some of the drivers struggle to keep the kart on the tarmac on the outlap, we look further down the grid. Starting in P7, Daniel Fellows, our championship leader into this round, only 2 points ahead of Aaron Heathman. Starting P8, Ryan Punsalon. P9, Joe Innes. P10, Bryce Stevens. Starting in P11, Philip Niemkiewicz. And in P12, Dylan Den Haas. And rounding off the final row of the grid, we have P13, Carmine Caruso, and P14, Aiden Aquino. Following Fellows around on the outlap, starting in P7, not the ideal spot for him if he wants to win this championship. His contender starting on the pole position. He's going to need to find a way up through the field if he wants to contest. Coming around to the start, for the first time, Heathman leads the field with control. Decides to go for an early start. It's a clean getaway from all. See how they file out through turn 1. Everyone files through turn 1 nicely, coming down the long stretch to turn 2. Heathman leads into the right, followed by Alessandro Serenetti, Rowan Gill, and Corey Hayes. And there's been a massive incident at the rear of the field. And a full course caution has been thrown due to that incident, and rightfully so. This gives the drivers who are collected time to either join at the back of the field or get off the track if they're incapable of getting their kart running. While we're under caution, this gives us a good time to look at the field. Currently, Aaron Heathman leads, Alessandro Serenetti still in second, Rowan Gill third, Corey Hayes fourth, and a good start from Fellows, rounding off the top 5. Coming around once more for the long right-hander leading to the front stretch. Heathman gets jurisdiction over the field. Going on board with Corey Hayes here for the start. And Corey Hayes gets a rocket of the start, past the line. Goes round the outside of Rowan Gill into P3, potentially looking for the move up to the inside of Alessandro Serenetti through turn 1. And crossing the line to start lap 3, the top 6 have already started to gap the rest of the field. It's Heathman, Serenetti, Hayes, Fellows, Gill, and Hyatt. Down the back stretch, into the right-hander. Heathman and Serenetti nose to tail, into the left. Coming up to the sharp right-hand hairpin, Serenetti right on Heathman's bumper, doesn't look for the move. Hayes closes up through that. Fellows looks to the inside, doesn't have it. Offs around the outside and lets his teammate by. Into the long sweeping left. Heathman and Serenetti still nose to tail, as well as Hayes, Fellows, and Gill. Down into the medium speed left, the front 5 still right together. coming around for the 4th time. Long right-hander. Serenetti bumping Heathman all the way down the front straights, already pulling the gap to 3 and 4. And there's actually been contact mid-corner between the teammates, Serenetti and Heathman. Heathman being the major loser out of that, dropping down what I believe is 4 positions. Fellows, his championship contender, gets by. Serenetti now using this time to try and pull a gap, potentially expecting a penalty. Coming down to the long left, Heathman closely on the tail of his championship contender, Fellows. Rowan Gill also in the mix, as well as Corey Hyatt. He's looking to make his way up through the field. Had much more pace than his start showed, but he's hopefully contesting for a win here today. We'll see how that goes later in the race. Serenetti, Hayes, Fellows, Heathman, and Gill still our top 5. In through turn 1. Train is starting to thin out a little bit. Championship contenders still right there together. Serenetti with the draft seems to be lacking a bit of pace here to his teammate Corey Hayes, who's been sharply gaining. And it's FPR driver and championship contender Aaron Heathman that passes his team around the inside of Fellows. Fellows looks for the switchback into the inside on the long left. Makes the move stick. Does Heathman go for a switchback? Fellows defensive to the inside. Heathman looks in. Makes the move stick. Fellows looking for another switchback. Doesn't have it. Heathman secures the position in second. Fellows running his bumper. Gill also there, potentially looking to capitalize on this battle. And once again, cross the line. It's Serenetti and Hayes, bumping like their teammates before. Does it end the same way into turn 1? No, it doesn't. Hayes backs off. Ducking out for the move. No, he doesn't. Following behind Serenetti into turn 2. With the run into the hairpin, doesn't go for the move. Hayes and Serenetti potentially looking to gap the rest of the field, working together and bumping when they can. Into the tight section. Heathman starting to pull a gap to Fellows in 3rd. Closing up quickly on the bumper of Corey Hayes. Heathman looking to put a bumper between him and Daniel Fellows in the 4th position. Serenetti getting a bit of a wiggle, potentially from a bump from his teammate. In through the left of turn 3 once more. The top 3 getting a little closer together now. Draft at this track really showing it's paying off, and there's a bump between teammates. The top 3 all collected. Top 4. Rowan Gill losing out. Alessandro Serenetti still leads by Corey Hayes, and Daniel Fellows taking P3. Capitalizing on that and getting by his championship rival, Aaron Heathman. Corey Hyatt also capitalizing from this, now behind Aaron Heathman, and Rowan Gill losing out, dropping into P6. And the top 6 all nose to tail, coming through the last part of the section of the track. Hayes looking to get by Serenetti, goes to the inside. Fellows looks to follow him through. Same with Heathman. Serenetti to the outside. Freight train down the inside. Hayes goes a little bit defensive. And there's been contact again once more. Serenetti and Fellows both off the track, looking to rejoin. Fellows pulls on the track, and there's contact again between Serenetti and Fellows. And watching the replay here, you see both drivers trying to rejoin at the same time, leads to contact. Serenetti being the major loser out of that. Both just eager to rejoin. Comes back on, almost takes out Joe Innes, collects one of the DPM drivers. Runs into Carmine Caruso, loses his front bumper. That'll spell the end of his race. Meanwhile, back at the front, Corey Hayes has a marginal gap to second place driver Corey Hyatt, followed closely behind Rowan Gill and Daniel Fellows. And with these two behind him, Corey Hyatt looking to get as much of a gap between them as possible, close up on Corey Hayes. The slipstream is quite powerful at this track. Might be able to use that to his advantage. But if he gets caught battling with the two behind him, could spell the end of his race-winning hopes. Meanwhile, behind Daniel Fellows, his championship rival, Aaron Heathman and Justin Ataconis working together, potentially to catch his front pack. It's a marginal gap. Don't know if they'll be able to close that, though, in the last few laps. And it does appear that Rowan Gill's happy to sit behind Corey Hyatt, push them, work together a little bit, and try and close that gap to Corey Hayes. On board now with Fellows in the 4th position. Currently our championship leader and temporary points leader. He'll be winning the championship if this holds up. Still out of the slipstream now between the two in front of him. Don't know how much he's going to be able to catch up with them bumping like that. He'll have to make it work through the corners and try and close that gap if he has any chance of fending off Aaron Heathman. Justin Ataconis behind, pushing. Not what he wants to be in this situation. Through the hairpin, does seem to be able to pull up a little bit on Rowan Gill in the 3rd position. Potentially a slipstream now through the long left. Heathman and Ataconis surely on his tail right now. So we go into the long left. Down the front straight once more. Corey Hayes goes defensive, trying to cut that slipstream off from number 2, Corey Hyatt. Rowan Gill pushing him down the straightaways. Daniel Fellows sitting in 4th, currently in no man's land, giving tow to the drivers behind, but not getting enough from the driver in front. Last few laps. Corey Hayes goes defensive into the hairpin. Again, Corey Hyatt right on his bumper. Hayes sticks to the inside, coming into the left. Gill moving to the outside, maybe trying to capitalize. Corey Hyatt looking for a way past. Bit of contact through the corner. Nothing they can't handle. The top 4 all getting close together. Aaron Heathman will be rubbing his hands together right now watching this, knowing that Daniel Fellows is stuck behind them. Once more defensive. Corey Hayes leads. Corey Hyatt, Rowan Gill, Daniel Fellows, Aaron Heathman, and Justin Ataconis. Through the long left. Corey Hyatt right on his bumper once again, bumping his teammate. Hayes goes defensive. Rowan Gill stays to the outside with Daniel Fellows. Bit of contact mid-corner. Battling hard. Corey Hayes sits in the middle of the track, making sure Corey Hyatt can't get by. Daniel Fellows looks to the outside of Rowan Gill. Doesn't make a move. Hyatt all the way out to the outside, looking to get a run through this long left. Can he make the move stick on the last lap? Coming down the long left. Heathman, now in striking distance of Daniel Fellows. Hayes doesn't go defensive. Corey looks for the move. And Heathman brings his nose out to the inside. Clears Fellows. Can he bring a switchback? Justin Ataconis spinning behind, potentially from contact. And coming to the line, Corey Hayes wins, leads Corey Hyatt, Rowan Gill, Aaron Heathman, and Daniel Fellows. And I'll have to see what points look like on callback, but that was one exciting race. We'll see how it pans out afterward. And here we are, our final finishing order and championship points for Season 3. Fellows actually won the championship on callback, but agreed to a 2-lap shootout against Aaron Heathman, allowing Heathman to take the championship on tied points. We would like to thank you for tuning into this broadcast, and as always, if you'd like to join in and participate in these races, there's a link to the Discord in the description below. All information between seasons will be posted there, as well as how to register. and any other details you might need. That's all for the KT100 Karting Academy Series Season 3. Tune in the next few months for more exciting racing to come in Season 4.